So let me start with this. I've spent the last while looking very closely at what the world's best marketers are doing, including Alex Hormozi, Daniel Priestley, Neil Patel, Wes McDowell, and Adam Erhart, and what they're doing differently in marketing right now. Not what they say or they believe in, not what sounds good on a stage, but what they've actually changed. And if you're listening to this, you're going to walk away with one clear thing you can do this week that stops wasted effort and makes your marketing pull its weight. Because if you're running or leading an SME and you've had that thought recently of, why does this feel so damned hard? You're not imagining it. I hear it constantly from clients, and the important thing to say up front is it's not because you've suddenly forgotten how to market. It's because the environment is changing so rapidly, and most SMEs are still using the marketing designed for yesterday. When I step back and compared what the top marketers are doing right now versus 18 months ago, I've noticed five very clear shifts, and I'm going to walk you through those one by one. So, the first shift, they've moved from explaining things to helping people make decisions. And this is the biggest change. A lot of marketing used to work because buyers needed education and they needed to understand what something was, how it worked, why it mattered. That's no longer true. So if someone wants information now, they get it instantly, often without clicking a website at all. So content that exists mainly to explain is being quietly bypassed. What hasn't changed is that people still struggle with decisions. They struggle with the trade offs. They struggle with the risk. They struggle with what should we do in our situation. So the marketers who are winning have shifted their content to sound more like the conversations they have with real clients. In IT, that may look like moving away from benefits of managed services towards, should you hire an internal IT manager or outsource at 30, 50, or 100 staff? In manufacturing, you may move away from why automation matters to, should you automate this process now or fix scheduling and waste first? In renewables, it's not why is solar good, it's solar first or battery storage first, and what actually pays back quicker. In professional services, it's not why strategy matters, it's project pricing versus retainers and what breaks delivery capacity. That's the first shift from information to decisions. The second shift, they've stripped their messaging back to brutal clarity. This is where Hormozi and Priestley are absolutely aligned. Most SME marketing tries to sound impressive, but the problem is impressive isn't what people buy, clarity is. The marketers I've been analysing can explain what they do in one simple sentence without buzzwords or clever wording. I help this type of business solve this type of problem so they get this type of outcome. If someone lands on your website and can't understand what you do in seconds, the rest of your marketing doesn't get a chance. So you're seeing less integrated solutions language and more direct statements. For example, IT, we keep your system stable so your team can work without interruptions. In manufacturing, we reduce downtime and inefficiency so you can protect margin. In renewables, we help you deliver projects profitably without getting crushed by delays. In professional services, we help you grow without burning out your team. That simplicity isn't basic, it's commercial. That's the second shift. The third shift, they've changed how authority is built. Authority no longer comes from polished broadcasting, it comes from showing judgment. So Neil Patel, Adam Erhart, and others are far more open now about what didn't work, what they stopped doing, and what surprised them. They're not just sharing wins, they're sharing decision making. And that matters because businesses and buyers don't trust perfect, they trust experience. For SMEs, this is a massive opportunity because you already have this material, you just don't publish it. Instead of another case study where everything went brilliantly, talk about the project that ran over and what you learned, the service you stopped offering and why, the assumption you got wrong. That honesty builds trust far faster than polished success stories. That's the third shift. The fourth shift, they've adapted to how attention actually works now. This is where Wes McDowell is useful, even if you never touch YouTube. The core idea is simple. Attention is tighter and more impatient, so clarity beats cleverness every time. Content that works now is specific, situational, and unmistakably relevant. Not our thoughts on cybersecurity, but what to do in the first 30 minutes after ransomware warning. Not sustainability in manufacturing, but how manufacturers are winning tenders without killing margin. Not leadership development, but the decision that stops founders becoming the bottleneck. That sharpness isn't accidental, it's designed for how people consume information right now. That's the fourth shift. The fifth shift, they're building assets they actually own. Every marketer I looked at is investing heavily in things they can control: email lists, search led content, podcasts, YouTube. Not because social media is bad, but because you're renting it. Reach is cheap, trust is expensive. If LinkedIn disappeared tomorrow, most SMEs would lose their entire audience overnight. It would be a disaster, and the smartest marketers are reducing their risk. That's the fifth shift. The one thing to do today, and here's the important part: you don't need to walk away from this and trash your entire marketing strategy. That's not what this is about. The one thing I want you to do today is to go and take one piece of content you've already written and rewrite it as a decision piece. Open a document and write this at the top. If you're a type of business and you're deciding between option A and option B, here's how I'd think about it. Then answer three questions. Who is it for specifically? What decision are they stuck on right now? And what would I actually recommend based on what I've seen? That single exercise forces you into modern marketing immediately, because marketing now doesn't win on volume, it wins on usefulness, and the businesses that are making this shift early feel the difference first. If you've really enjoyed this content, and I hope you did, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.